Yep, just saying.
No, they do, because you got Lance and his chief just following along. Lance? Lance is so.
Yes.
I hope she gets on. Because she's got to work 10 hours a week and stuff. She can do it from home, she can do whatever, so she has her taken to me. And I said to her in a meeting,
Wow.
so you got any jobs? No,
I got the call just after that email went out.
I said, well, look, it's right here on my phone. I showed it to them from the meeting here. Nope, I don't want to see it, she ran out. So, no, she had told us, like, I don't know, but I just told her, hey, look, you think it's just a we should really turn on the line? I don't know, maybe it's different because she said it's not her. No, it's not, that's what we were saying.
Yep, he's
Talk
to him a little while.
The problem is, she knows so much, and yet, it's not that good. She doesn't know what's going on. In the meeting, oh, yeah, I can see that, at least you
You already read it?
So then, so then I said something to my husband again. It's not. Oh. Hey, look, honey, I'm listening to food prices. It's crazy. Hello.
Audio's on, video's on.
Okay. So is there easy to follow instructions up there?
I'm sorry?
Is there easy to follow instructions laminated up there? They work now, those
Yeah, I guess.
instructions.
Yeah.
Just curious.
He changed something on here about a month ago, so it actually eliminated one step for turning that on. And Sean's been turning this thing on for a long time.
Well, that's what I wondered.
So I just called Sean.
Oh, he walked you through it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one less step. I'm just used to put 2 steps to get on.
All right.
A small question. This is this is all we got from them?
There's another sheet that clerk signed it.
That's it? Okay, I just wondered, because every other one has been multiple pages.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay.
Guess when they say no, they don't have to do much, I guess.
Well, they like to do that. They get paid by page.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the October 18th Town of Alexandria Board meeting. Would you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, he said it's working. Call the town board meeting to order. Motion to approve and pay October abstract bills. And there's 2 bills that will be in the November abstract were right there on the table. One of them is the H&H bill. I think you guys all have those in front of you. One is the H&H. The other one is the USDA payment. Are those 2, plus the regular abstract. I've been through the abstract. I think the only question I have, or the only problem I have, is that the Redwood Cemetery, Gene, if you saw the bill in there, we pay in advance for 2024 for the maintenance of the cemetery. The bill is for 2023 and 2024.
No, just pay 2020, just pay 2023. Why would we pay for 2024?
That was my question. So
I've never heard of paying.
I actually called Skip Weller about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know much about it because it's not one of his cemeteries. But he's asked me to look into it. Why are we paying $125 for the maintenance in their cemetery?
Whose cemetery? Which one?
It would be the
Which cemetery?
what is it, the Catholic Church?
we shouldn't be paying anything to that.
I think we have for years.
Shouldn't be paying anything.
And I started asking questions.
You talking about the Catholic cemetery over
No.
here?
No,
It's in Redwood.
Redwood.
It's on that bill. It said that Redwood something cemetery.
Who's billing us?
Kurt Hanna. He's,
Is this an active cemetery? I didn't even know
I
there was.
believe so.
Yes,
There's a Catholic cemetery over there?
it's up by,
Oh, it's behind
Wait.
Bartlett's.
yes, it's up by Crystal Lake.
Oh, wait.
And that's not a
They call
town
it the
cemetery.
road. You pull into the water treatment plant,
Oh, okay.
and you go down the hill, and it's at the other end.
No kidding.
It's in town of three.
Dale, do you remember back
Okay,
in your
that's
days?
fine.
Kurt Hennings is usually in charge of that Redwood Cemetery. And at one time, yes, we did give him money, and I forget what it was for.
Okay.
It wasn't very much, I know that.
Shouldn't
I
be.
say we hold off on that bill. I'd like to ask some questions about it.
Definitely.
But Kurt would be the one to get a hold of.
Yeah,
He could answer your
Okay.
question.
okay. I talked to Skip about it today, and Skip said we need to ask some questions about it.
Yeah.
It's not one of our cemeteries. And we don't do that that I know for any other cemetery, and there are other cemeteries in the town. So,
Yeah, that's the first I've ever heard of this.
so I'll make a motion that we approve the two bills plus the abstract minus the, bill for the cemeteries.
What about,
That's my motion,
How about there's one there for assessor.
and not pay the assessor?
Not pay
The
that.
Ramo bill?
Yes.
Okay. That's my motion.
second?
Second?
Wait, okay, do we get a discussion?
Any discussion?
How can we not pay him?
Has to be in a different, we can't pay him in that form.
But I'm just saying.
He's going to get paid.
Okay, but so we're gonna, but he did the work. We'll have to pay him.
He's going to get paid, not in that form of payment.
Okay, well,
We have to pay him on the payroll from what
okay, and that's what I said the other day. I don't know why he's not, but I mean,
Well, we're fixing it.
that's, okay, but so he's getting paid, but a different way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah,
Just clarify.
via our attorney's advice.
correct. Yep.
That's my motion. Any further discussion?
As long as that happens, fine. I'm okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye. All those opposed? None. Motion to approve the town board minutes. Has anybody had a chance to look through the three?
Yeah, I did. The only confusing is this Thomas and Thompson. So when, you know, to get that, you have to kind of read it, because at first it sounds like you're doing first and second.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
mean, but beyond that, I'm just kind of making light. I have no issues. They all look good.
So you make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we
Need a
approve.
second?
Yep.
Gene, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, none. So that's, just to be clear, that's three sets of minutes. That's the
Yep.
September 20th, the September 21st, and the October 2nd, right, Sandy?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I still owe you the 12th.
Okay, the next is the public hearing at 6 o'clock. Need to have a motion and a second to open the public hearing. Motion by
I'll make the motion.
Mike, second by Ron. We open the public hearing to override the tax cap.
The discussion, and we got a vote to open, don't we?
According to Andy, no.
No, just, okay.
Yep. And this is to override the tax cap.
So just to
I think our plan is to pass,
The discussion that we're having right now is what normally takes place after a motion and a second.
yes.
That's what okay,
Yep.
which includes
He
the
said a
public.
motion and a second to open the hearing, a motion and a second to close it, and then a total vote to take action,
Yeah, okay.
okay?
Yep.
This is override the tax cap. We don't think we're gonna need it, but we're advised to do it anyways. We did this last year, and when we came to the budget hearing in November, we did not override the tax cap. We're hoping that that's gonna be our case this year. Okay? Any comments from the public? If not, I'll take a motion to close the public hearing. Motion by Ron, second by Mike, to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Okay. Now, does anybody wanna take action?
I'll make a motion to, pass local law number 4 of 2023 to override the 2024 tax cap limit.
Motion by Ron, second by Gene. Any discussion? Should we do a roll call, Sandy?
Yep, Supervisor Sweet,
Yes?
Councilman Fayette,
Yes.
Councilman Cream,
Yes.
Councilman Thomas is absent, Councilman Thompson.
Yes.
Motion passed. Public concerns, anybody from the public have any questions or anything for us? Okay. Engineer report, Mr. Campany, our engineer and our health officer, what do you have for us today?
A couple of things. Do you have an agenda? Extra agenda, you did. The first thing was, I think I didn't bring an agenda with me, and there weren't any copies, but,
First thing is the bonding.
yeah, the bond, thank you. The, bonding for the, redwood work, the water tank and the water line. We need to do an engineering report for both of those little projects, which I've got those done. They have to be sent to Tim, the bond counsel, and also Jeff Smith with Municipal Solutions. So the process is this. I'll send the engineering reports to them this week. Tim will prepare a resolution for you to have a public hearing, and it'll be a bond resolution, but Jeff explained it's a 202B process, so it's a simpler bond resolution process. You'll have the resolution for your November meeting to set a public hearing, and then at your December meeting, you'll have a public hearing, and then you can pass the resolution, and then Jeff Smith will then help you put permanent bonding in place. You know, it'll help you sell the permanent bonds for that work. So you can reimburse your general fund, because I think you financed it out of your general fund, right, temporarily. Right, you paid the contractors out of the general fund.
Must have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you had some money in the Redwood account, but, so that's the process. I verified that with Jeff today. So the engineering reports, bond counsel will do the resolutions for your next meeting. You'll set a public hearing, and then December you can finalize it. We also have to do seeker at the next meeting for it too, but it's just short form. I don't have to read through all the long form. So that's that. Both jobs are complete. You know, I guess we all know that the inside of the tank's been painted, and the water line was put back online. The exterior of the tank will need to be painted at some point in the future. We did ask them to look at it, to touch it up, but there was so much delamination of the paint system on top of the tank that you can't see, that they didn't wanna touch it, basically. So
It's got a metal dome to it, or a metal?
I mean, the whole ball is steel, right, but on top, for some reason, the paint has delaminated, you know, the finish coat is delaminated more than what you can see from the ground. I actually have some photos I can send to you. So the primer is still there, but the primer will eventually bleed through over time. So that'll unfortunately be a complete removal of the paint system. I have to sandblast that all down and repaint the exterior.
Wow.
Our estimated price on that was?
I think we had about 300,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, earmarked for that. So, yeah, it's pricey.
Okay. I keep getting asked about that pavilion, and any luck on getting people?
Yeah, Steve Dorr is looking at it, to put the pipes in for that. I sent him a sketch. That's the only one who's had interest so far, but we'll try to get a couple other quotes. Hopefully when these guys are back and not so busy for the winter, we can get those pipes put in. The Route 12 sewer. So I did reach out to, EFC on the funding, additional funding, that we applied for. So back in July, we, sent an application in for additional funding for the Route 12 sewer. We met with Jeff Smith here, Brent was involved, and trying to brainstorm on how we might, repackage the project, that it would fit EFC's existing funding. And one of the things that was suggested is that we break it up into 2 phases. you know, we basically break that section up and do the first phase, which would be the trailer parks, and then the second phase, which would take us to the rest of the way to Key Wade. All right, we're waiting for some feedback, whether that would make it eligible, for the funding from EFC. I haven't heard back from them. I also reached out to the DEC. We applied for a water quality improvement grant and wanted to see what we could do to boost the score for that, but they won't talk to us because we have a pending application. So until we hear back from them, probably in late November, early December, we really don't know how we scored.
Anything else?
So
Yeah,
if you break that up, would that increases our chances to get the money that we're short?
Yeah, so one of the problems with EFC, with this current, funding program that they have, and it was attached to the Build Back Better bill, right? Is that we couldn't have incurred any debt on the project before a certain date, I think in 2021. Well, we have a note on that project that was closed before that date. So it made their ability to extend more funding, because of that requirement in the grant program, that they can extend the funding under the existing program. So they suggested creating a whole new different project. And so how do we do that? Because it's the same project, right? And so Jeff Smith mentioned with Municipal Solutions, if we break it up into two separate projects, then the two projects are different, and can then that become eligible for, you know, for the grant funding. So we're waiting to hear back. So it's all about this deadline and the fact that we borrowed money and before the eligibility requirements started for the new program.
Okay, kind of follow along this. So you're gonna have the debt for the two pieces, the chances of being identical are 0. So it's are we talking about, instead of having one district, it's gonna be 2 districts?
Well, it could be one district, but 2 phases in the same district.
Because you're gonna have different debt, 2 different sides.
Right.
How do you do that?
But we try to match the EDUs to the debt, right? We haven't worked out all the details yet.
Okay, I'm
not even sure how that's gonna work.
Because the way our, you know, all our existing districts all have varying debt.
Correct.
So you can't just like combine them because they have a different debt.
Right. Right. So you might have to have District 2A and District 2B.
Okay, I'm just saying, it just adds a little twist.
Yeah. Yeah, that we'll have to work through with Andy and
Okay.
Jeff Smith on how to actually do that. So,
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so.
You have the paper you were gonna bring?
Oh, Otter Street Sewer Extension. So, we got a grant for $20,000 for us to do the map plan and report and study for Otter, and for the Otter Street Sewer District Extension. There's a requirement with that you had to go to RFP for engineering services. You just couldn't have me do it without going to RFP, soliciting proposals. We put an ad, the town put an ad in the paper and advertised for proposals. And we submitted a proposal back on September 6th. I don't know if you got any other proposals or not.
We got one.
I don't know if you received any other proposals than the one.
Nope.
So we had to submit, I made a couple copies, statement of qualifications. So, if you want us to move forward, resolution to do such, if not. So basically, it's our standard qualification statement, hourly rate.
You emailed this to us, didn't you, what?
I did,
I believe so.
yeah, you should have had it.
the cover page still says Town of Orleans.
Oh, is that why? Yeah, 'cause I had to do it for Town of Orleans
Yeah.
too. I didn't fix that. Sorry. I found it and I printed it off quickly tonight, so. Town of Orleans had to do the same thing.
I'm fine with it. Rob's done all the work on this whole project,
Yeah.
right, for,
Yep.
actually, this Route 12 project has been, this is
No,
for Otter
it's just
Street,
actually-
right?
This is just for the
Yeah.
Otter Street
Well,
area.
most is its qualifications and.
Yep, yep.
everything. Yep.
Copy of my license.
Anybody wanna make a motion that we accept Rob? Ron's made a motion, second by Gene. Any discussion?
Nope.
As I said, I just wanna say that Rob's been working on this for a bunch of years, and he knows everything about what's going on up there at Otter Street.
Yeah. I mean,
so-
I happen to live over there, and I have some neighbors that have some stuff that it doesn't work at all. Something needs to get done over there. I mean, I've been some serious bad shit.
And we can call the health officer.
Yeah. Well, it's really bad, I'm not kidding you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None. Anything else, Rob?
No, that's it, Sandy, I'll just need a copy of that from the minutes to submit to show that they complied with the grant.
Okay. Highway report. What is right here in front of me? Okay, good morning. Swan Hollow and Barn Settlement roads are complete. All is needed in some signage. The men are making great progress on Door Road. They will move to Hanai Road for minor repairs. They will soon be installing winter road reflectors and, tearing down trucks. Gentlemen, we are very actively searching for part-time winter help. There are not too many alternatives. Raise their pay or allow me to hire a full-time MEO. We cannot take a truck off the road as it will result in much more overtime. Our citizens, along with our school system, could be compromised. Many of our residents depend on safe roads. For a few military families, nurses, support traumas, civilians, and teachers. Let's please all help make our roads safe, winter and summer. Thank you on not only the men at the highway, but the citizens as well. Mike Tipples. Do you have anything to add, Gene?
Trustee Schultz is gonna come back.
So we've taken care of one of our shortages. Is that the?
No, we hired another part-timer.
Yep. Okay, so we're all set.
Okay.
We're all set, okay. Okay, that's the highway report. What I've done with these other reports that I was asked by the board is submit them with our agenda, and they're on our website. So we have, those reports are there. Anybody wants to view them, or the public, that's where they are. Water and Sewer Committee, Sandy, do you have anything?
Yep, just to follow up on Mr. Vane, I know I talked with a few of you, he came in this quarter to complain about the charges on the lot next door. He said he was told by Supervisor Honeyman and sewer operator Dana Speed that if he cleaned up the house and combined the lots, there would be no additional charges. He said Mr. Vane stated Dana Speeds was supposed to remove the pot, but did not come when Rusty Johnson was there removing the house, because Dana was busy and he would do it later. I've checked with Dale, he does not remember this agreement, and I have checked the minutes for the 2 years while Dale was supervisor, and I've had found no mention to this agreement whatsoever. So that's all I can tell you about that. Water and sewer bills have gone out. They're due by October 31st. I'm working on the re-levy for those accounts that are in arrears. I've been working on the water and sewer districts, based off of the budget, the numbers that were in the tentative budget. The proposed capital amounts that I've come up with as of now, Redwood Water District would be $330, the same as last year. This is just capital units that I'm talking about. Redwood Sewer would be $80, down from $85 last year, so that'd go down $5. Route 12 Water District, I talked with a few of you before the meeting and talked about a couple of the major users and what I had done, if there's any, however you guys want to do it, but with my recommendations, Route 12 Water District would be paying $330 this year, which is down $80 from last year due to an increase in units from 95.5 last year to 116 this year. The increase comes mainly from Swan Bay Car Wash, Price Chopper, and the Swan Bay Estate. Otter Street Water, theirs is at $436, up from $410. This is tentative, I haven't got all of their numbers confirmed yet. But that's where I'm at with water and sewer.
Only question I have is, you're talking about removing that sewer pot. What's our current policy on removing a sewer pot?
The owner is responsible.
The current policy is it's the owner's responsibility, and Mr. Vane said, I had them there taking stuff out, I would have had them taking it out if that's what the agreement was.
Every previous time this has come up, the property owner paid to take care of it.
Right. So,
Rob,
I mean,
maybe you can answer. Can we remove infrastructure that we're still bonded for?
See, that's a really good question.
That is a good question. Yeah, I don't know who would check on, you know, so, right, your funding agency, I'm not sure how that's financed.
I was gonna say, I think Jeff Smith would know the answer to that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Because we've had this conversation before on the maintenance side of it. We're required to maintain everything that got put in until the bond is paid for.
Right, that's a good question. I can run it by Jeff and see what his.
But even more than that, like that was, like Gene brought this up the other day, which is, kind of looking at this question in a kind of a unique way, is when the original rate was set, it was set for X number of EDUs. So if you remove something, to change the number of EDUs, so we're kind of changing the stipulations or whatever you want to call it from the, when we borrowed the money.
Why does he want it removed? Just to, so he doesn't get charged?
Total house down.
Right, the house next door, I don't know if it burnt or if it was just in disarray.
Tore it down.
But they tore it down, and apparently there was conversation before he did it, he didn't want to be paying 2 sets of EDU charges. And in his mind, he was told if you tore the house down and you combined the properties, you wouldn't get charged twice. Well, with the new ordinances, he does get charged half an EDU because the infrastructure is there.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I think we could ask Jeff his opinion.
I mean, could you remove the pot and would it be good for anything? Is it able to be removed and be reused?
Yeah, can you get it out without damaging it?
Right.
Who knows, right? It could fall apart. It's been in the ground for
20 years now.
Yeah.
20 years. And if it's not in his way for anything,
No,
the real issue is how we charge him.
Right.
I say we ask Jeff Smith and the Association of Towns.
If you can
But,
remove.
Gene brings up
Yeah.
a very good question, because that applies to more than just Redwood Sewer, pretty much everything in general.
Right. Yeah, I think it kind of falls along the same line. I remember that some towns wanted to give infrastructure to private owners, right? And relinquish any responsibility from owner, operating, and maintaining it, and they can't do that. I remember. So by removing it, I don't know the answer. I think we'd have to ask.
Okay. Anything else on that? Rob, you're all set?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. On reports or any clerk report?
I've been working on a lot of water and sewer stuff and stuff to get to the county by the end. All my monthly reports were submitted on time, and that's all I've got.
Okay. Old business, True Engineering, he's not gonna have anything for us until our next meeting. He's working on a bunch of stuff as far as the project is concerned. Short-term rental draft being reviewed. I reached out to Norris, looking for the comments back from the committee or the planning board, and we don't have those yet. So he's gonna work on getting those. Tax cap override was our public hearing. That's all taken care of. Holland Street boat ramp, I really don't have anything to report there. I went to the village board meeting, I reported to the village where we stand. I'm in the process of getting a couple letters to get to the village about, it's gonna talk about Fiaco repairing the ramp. And I used the boat ramp 2 days ago, and the water's gotta go down some more before he's able to do that, obviously. So it may be November, late November, before he's able to do that, depending on what happens with our water level. Okay? Jefferson County Snow and Ice contract, just to tell everybody, it's signed and delivered by the highway superintendent to Jefferson County. New business, newest appellate court decision. Somebody wanna read that? Filed Appellate Division, 4th Department, 9/29, September 29th, 2023. Motion 993/22, case number 21-0495, in the matter of Daniel B. Peterson, petitioner appellant, versus the town of Alexandria respondent. Appellate having moved for re-argument, renewal, and for other relief from the order of this court entered May 5th, 2023. Now upon reading and filing the papers with respect to the motion and due deliberation have been had therein, it is hereby ordered that the motion is denied. Signed by the clerk of the court and Dylan Flynn. That's all I have there. Budget transfers. Everybody has a list in front of them here. First one is General A. We're gonna debit Building CE. We're going to credit, well, that Building CE was Redwood Sewer. We're gonna credit Building CE to cover the new line item within its own fund. Next one is Special Facilities Dock CE, $200 debit, Celebration CE, $200 credit, to cover engineering fees within its own fund. Refuse Garbage Personal Services, $12,000 debit, Medical Insurance, $12,000 credit, to cover sick pay paid to a retiree for 2022. Next one, Highway DA, Machinery CE, $6,000 debit, Jefferson County Maintenance, $6,000 credit, to cover machinery repairs by revenue from Jefferson County Maintenance. Redwood Sewer, Sanitation Sewers Equipment, $30,000 debit, State Aid, Other Home and Community Services, $30,000, to cover installation of UV lights coming from DASNY grant of $125,000 per our accountant, Mike Lassant. Redwood Water, Transmission and Distribution CE, debit, $2,000, interest and penalties, revenue, credit, $2,000, to cover engineering fees charged to Redwood Water. Take a motion to approve the budget transfers. Motion by Gene, need a second? Second by Ron. Discussion?
Good question, the, 12,000, did we just become aware of that,
Yeah, I
or
was just gonna ask that.
what?
I was just gonna ask that, what's that all about?
That's a good question.
You know,
You wanna
to retiree, what is that all about?
That would have been for, what's his name?
Byron?
Retired, Byron. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it's coming this late in the year, he retired December 31st, but maybe.
You wanna hold it out, or you want me to call? Or neither?
I mean, it's 2022, but we're almost at the end of 2023.
I'm just questioning why we found out so late in the game, so to speak. I mean, if we owe it, we owe it, but.
It just seems kind of weird too, we're taking out of garbage, even though it's
Well, it's not, it looks like it's coming,
moving money around inside the fund, but I mean,
well, this leads me to believe there's enough in there.
well,
To
that
do
kinda
that.
leads me to believe we had too
Nicole,
much.
sorry about it, I'm at the board
So it's
meeting and
either way,
I'm gonna put you on speakerphone, we're just asking about that $12,000 from the refuse and garbage PS and then the credit for the medical insurance. Hold on a second.
What are you asking?
Asking about the debit of $12,000 from the refuse garbage PS, I'm on the budget transfers, and then the medical insurance credit for $12,000.
Well, I just needed to find a line item that had extra money in it, and that's where I got it.
And that came from that line item of medical insurance?
No, from,
Yeah,
no.
because
took it from garbage.
we budgeted more for that than what we've spent, so there's a lot left in it.
Okay.
And what exactly is this
And the,
12,000
and
for?
the refuse garbage PS is over?
Well, what happened is in January, we paid, for the employee that retired sick pay. That was like $11,000 something dollars. And it put us over on budget, cause that wasn't budgeted.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions?
So it happened in January. This has already been paid.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering why we're paying it.
So it happened in January and it was already paid and now we're just reimbursing it from this, the line item that had money in it.
Catching up with us.
Yep. Any more questions?
No, but okay.
Okay, Nicole, thank you, sorry to bother you.
Yep.
Okay.
So the other is the UV lights have been installed, or they're?
Yes, they've been installed, we've been waiting for a long time for them. That was the grant that we had
Right.
for $125,000 that we're submitting the paperwork for. Pretty close to sending that all in because I think we spent all the money, which we have to spend it
Well,
first.
no, that's what I'm saying, didn't we just, we're gonna buy some more pumps or something and that'll get us, are we to the 125 yet? I thought we approved spending,
I think we just did, or didn't he order more pumps to put us at that number?
that's what I thought.
I think it was 8 or 9 that he.
Okay, so now we're to that point, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, any other questions? I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Gene,
I think we already did.
I did, yeah.
we're in discussion, okay.
Yeah.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None.
Okay.
Okay. Resolution to upgrade and expand the server. Everybody has something in front of them.
ABS.
Gotta have number 3 on it, it's ABS. So we're getting real close to full, and Microsoft is changing something, Sandy, on 1st of November. They're discontinuing their service for one of their
Yeah, they no
programs.
longer are supporting, yep.
Yep. I called him and talked to him about this at ABS, as I was curious about it. It's a bunch of equipment, obviously, that goes into a server that they have to put together. It'll take them about 2 weeks to build it and a week to put it in. Is what they told me, and we won't be down for more than an hour when they put it in.
I was hoping to keep time up.
Yeah, good.
I think it's a necessity, and I think we gotta do it as soon as possible, because we're getting close to being full and having a problem.
Does this have any connection to the storage issues we have with this?
No, that laptop's independent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But this, you have no option.
yeah. I'll take a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mike, any second?
Sure.
Second by Gene. Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None. Monte Castle Stables. I've had the people calling me that have made the offer, we made the counter offer. They just kinda wanna know the direction, and my question to the board is, do we put this thing up for sale? Do we list it?
Why not?
How do we handle this?
Well, you're gonna have to list, you can't just deal with a particular property, a buyer. But backing up a little bit further on this, how does the Border Patrol thing, if we sell it, that option kinda disappears, doesn't it?
I would say.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost us anything to hang on to it, right?
Well,
Somewhat, I don't know if
it's not
there's water,
affecting
sewer.
taxes and,
I'm just saying, you know,
It'd be nice to be able to hold off until that CBP
it's decided.
is decided. I have no idea how long that's gonna take.
And my other question is, when we've sold other properties, which we've done this 2 or 3 times, we're required to put it out for bid or auction, or out for bid.
I think it ought to be listed. I mean, there may be other people interested in it. I mean, to be fair to the
public
town
property, you have
taxpayers.
to.
What's that?
Public property, you have to.
Yeah.
The town has to, yeah.
Yeah, you have to. But I
Well, I understand your thoughts about waiting.
I mean, I think you forwarded some stuff to us from, Tilt, and they specifically mention the, you know, and they're still, and politicians at various levels are advocating for using that property for the customs, you know?
It seems like almost everyone is in favor of it, except for CBP,
Right.
unfortunately.
I was gonna say, there's been a lot of stuff printed on the internet by WWNY, by the Times, by other people, where people have commented, and all the comments are, it should go at Bonnycastle Stables.
Right. I mean, all our elected state representatives are all behind it. Our federal representatives are behind it. It's like bizarre that CBP can just go on their own, so to speak. Because I don't even think that, because one of the questions is, have they even looked at it?
It's pretty clear by the stuff that I'm reading that they haven't.
Yeah.
Have they that's a really good question. Have they reached out to you and said, hey, do you mind if we go out there and walk around?
Yeah.
No.
Nothing?
No.
That's kinda,
Yeah.
That makes
that doesn't
no
sound
sense.
good.
And both Senator Walczak and Scott Gray and other people involved have been trying to
Schumer,
push
right?
for them, and Schumer, to try to push for them to contact us. And
Right.
they have.
Obviously, they're a federal agency, so our state representatives haven't, but Schumer is behind it.
Yeah. Claudia's behind it,
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's not in Claudia's district, though.
No.
Well, put it this way, the sites that are being looked at
Are in
are,
her district.
and we're literally
Yeah.
on the line, yeah. Yeah.
So if you-
I would advocate for hanging on to it
At least for a couple
for
more
a while,
months.
you know, I don't know what that,
Okay. I have these people calling, and I wanna be able to tell them where we're at, what we're doing.
I don't know, I'd rather sit on it for a little bit.
Yeah. But I'm still entertaining people that wanna look at it,
Oh,
and
yeah,
so on
yeah.
and so forth, that take people up there. There's been two of those.
I'd tell them that there's a good chance that it's going to, and hopefully it'll just have a small piece
Yep,
of
yeah.
it,
yep.
That could be, subdivide off and the rest you can buy.
right?
Since we have people that are interested, do you have to list it with a realtor? Can't you just like put ads in the paper and stuff? Why would you wanna give away 7 or 10% for a commercial property when you know you have people that are interested?
It's public property.
Right, but you just say like, sometimes you'll have buyers that you can exclude or whatever. Gene will probably know more about it because you've done a lot more real estate than anybody at the table.
Yeah. Yeah, if we had people interested, we could have that excluded from the
Yeah,
real estate agent.
from a listing or whatever.
Yeah, probably could find somebody to do that. Not saying that we
Okay.
couldn't list it on like Willow or something ourselves.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I think you handle it the same way you handled the properties you cleaned up, like the old, the site coming in after we cleaned that up and you took it over for taxes, and then I think you sold that. And the site in Redwood, the old gas station, you disposed of that as excess property as well, I think. I don't think the county did that.
I was gonna say, we ended up just taking bids on that. I
Yeah,
think.
but I think you publicly advertised it.
Yeah.
But I don't think a realtor was involved, to Sandy's point.
Right,
But I think you dispose of this as excess property the same way.
right.
See, and before, when we've advertised stuff for bids, we always put the clause in there that we have the right to.
Refuse any and all.
Just have a minimum bid.
Right.
Minimum
Have a
bid,
minimum bid.
exactly. Set a minimum on
Minimum
it.
bid, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'll go on to the next one then. Resolution to change the threat assessment team on the town of Alexandria workplace harassment policy. That's, 5. So this hasn't been updated, and I'd like to
For a
update it.
really long time.
And the designated contacts, for Supervisor Brent Sweet, Jesse Hudon was there, we're gonna put Sandy Caputo, and Joe Russell, we're gonna put Andy Silver. We'll change this form and put the proper phone numbers and emails in, if I get a motion to approve that.
You know, it would seem to me it'd be the smarter thing, instead of every time say, you know, one of these
Change all
people
those.
change, why not just put a title, town supervisor, town clerk, town attorney? And then you don't have to do,
Everybody touching in.
If that's allowable for this forum,
I don't see why not.
which I guess I don't see why not, that makes sense.
It's ours.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, well then I'll, for the designated contacts, I'll do that, I'll just change it, put the titles in there,
right.
okay? I have a resolution to do that, or a motion, I should say.
I'll make a motion that,
Motion by Mike,
to make those changes that I just
second.
described.
Ron?
Yep.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Proposed Marine Island zoning district, you all have a copy of that in front of you. Has anybody looked at it? I think I sent it in an email, but,
You did, yeah, I read it.
you have a copy of it, it's got draft written all over it. Just asking everybody to take a look at it and bring back comments to us at our next board meeting.
Who, as far as town, has gone through this? This is draft,
They created a committee that actually created the document.
yeah,
And then the planning board has looked at it. And that's,
they're happy with it?
yeah, because this was sent to me from Rich Leclerc, who's in
Okay.
charge.
That's my question.
Yeah, they're happy with it.
Okay,
Rich is the zoning.
I think he's planning, isn't he?
Is he planning? I thought he was on the zoning board.
I'm not sure.
Okay, maybe he's okay. Maybe I'm, okay.
But they had a committee of taxpayers and people that were involved, they put a bunch of time into this, and there's some of the people on the river on islands that have been very interested in this that I've sent it to them. And if anybody remembers, there were actually some people out there that sent us suggestions. And those people that sent us suggestions have gotten back to me and told me that they very much like our draft.
Good.
Okay.
So, take a motion to accept the draft.
We're just recognizing the fact that we have it in our possession, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that
Motion by
start like,
Ron.
does that start like a, okay,
We're just accepting and recognizing that we've got the
okay,
draft.
all right, so then,
Motion by Ron,
Ron,
second by
second.
Mike. Any discussion?
does that set some kind of time that we have to go from accepting it to approving
Making a
it?
decision, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, not that I know
okay,
It's not a bad idea to get this,
I'm just saying, somebody's gonna say, now you got it and you're sitting on it.
of. And we extended that moratorium by 6 months,
okay,
and that's what this is all about.
right. And we extended that when though?
And I'm wondering what that was extended to. That was, I think it was a August or September deadline, so it went 6 months beyond that.
So if we act on this in the next 2 meetings,
Yeah.
say 2 or 3 meetings, we should be inside that 6 months.
Okay. Anything else on that? Good? Is that September?
We gotta vote on that though.
Do we, is it,
We didn't vote, we
I
just
know we
motioned
didn't vote,
second.
but I'm wondering if this is a,
I just don't leave it alone, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, we've got it physically, I mean, to actually
Right.
do a
I don't think you
motion.
need a motion. We're not doing anything.
right, we're not. Present the 2023 September operating statement.
We've got a motion and a second on the floor.
Well, so we need to pull the motion out and second.
Well, we just vote it down.
Yeah.
That'd be the simplest.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
aye.
All those opposed, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh,
3-1.
Oh,
Vote down.
okay, that confused me.
The operating statement, the balance sheet, and the profit and losses are all in everybody's paperwork right here?
Yep.
Yep. Dale, do you want one of those too? We'll get you one, I gave one to Tim.
Okay,
I'll get you one of those, okay?
okay, thank you.
New village water rates for 5 town of Alexandria water districts and sewer rates. I think Sandy kinda talked about the rate a little bit. I know she's been working on our rates in relation to the village's new water rates. I did find out at the village board meeting that I went to on Tuesday that And also, I think Steve called me and told me that everybody has signed what you needed to have signed
Yes,
to use rate, I'm gonna call the B rate,
yes,
okay?
yep.
Which was the
The last, the other day was town of Teresa and the town of Orleans. We haven't received it, but I spoke with both town supervisors. And
Okay.
he said they were all approved.
Okay. And I think I forwarded on to everybody, we've got the last step in that water permit process for you,
Yes,
that's all set? Yeah, that was a boundary deal and we,
yeah, I worked on it with Andy Silver and I think we answered all the questions. I think Gregor was happy with it, but I'll see him Friday.
okay. Resolution to purchase the 550. That's number 9. Everybody sees the invoice. We have this in the budget. We've done an adjustment to the budget because the truck came in at $8,000 over. So Mike withdrew, another piece of equipment that he had on the list, so that we had the funds in the budget to buy the $88,100.
He pulled the trailer,
I'm sorry,
Okay, I'm just asking what piece of
the
equipment.
trailer that he was gonna get,
the trailer or the brush or the broom?
the trailer, I think, or the broom, which I don't think the broom was enough, was it?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if we reduce, a piece of equipment is gonna be removed, we should make a note of that, so we don't find ourselves with an
Yep,
invoice
for sure.
for it, you know?
Which one was he gonna remove, the trailer or the?
I think the trailer. I'll ask him and confirm with you tomorrow.
Okay, okay. So I'll need a motion on the 550.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Gene. Second?
I'll think of it, you know, with, you know, confirmation from the town highway superintendent about what piece of equipment that he's choosing not to purchase to be able to make up the difference in money.
Okay. That's, will be in the motion, then you'll second it?
Mm-hmm.
Mike? Your
Yes,
second?
yes.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None. This next one.
Maybe he'll get back to me right now.
Andrea Rizzoli, Law Offices, Lexington Ave, New York. I'm writing to inform you that the above-mentioned private road name has been changed from Johnson Lane to Noble Lane. The deed reference number 2003-9036, parcel number 6.00-2-19. Further notice to Wellesley Island East homeowners was met with no objection, but only encouragement from Mr. Smith's neighbors as E.J. Noble property will be embarking upon its 100 years of ownership. Jeremy Smith, the recent beneficiary of the property, has decided to rename his private road after his grandfather, E.J. Noble. That's pretty much what they want to do. I talked to Andy Silver, and he says all that we have to do is pass a resolution to do this.
There's only,
This isn't a town road, is it?
no, it's a private, but they have to get it changed for 911.
Right, but I'm saying, how does the town get involved in a non-town road?
It says in here it takes town approval
Oh, okay, I'm just,
from the law office.
alright.
The final is the Office of Real Property in the county, cause they're the keepers of the 911.
Right, that's why it's all
addressing
911,
system.
All
correct.
about
Yeah.
911.
Yeah,
Okay, I just,
yeah, there's only, put it this way, that road, there's only two families that live on it, there's Jeremy and the Johnson family. And the road is all on Jeremy's land, except where it ends, and that butts on the Johnsons. Somehow it got named Johnson Road or Lane or whatever, when actually the whole road is on
Okay.
Noble land.
okay.
So I'll take a motion.
I'll make it.
Motion by Ron,
I'll second that.
second by Mike,
Yeah.
to change the name from Johnson Lane to Noble Lane. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None.
Brenda, I included you on the text message, he's gonna give up the broom.
He had told me it was a broom.
Yep.
That's what he's saying? Okay.
Just saying right now, so you've got
So-
the text too, so you know.
Yeah. So the resolution to purchase the 550 is that he's giving up the purchase of the broom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Appoint Foils Appeals Officer. Our attorney told us last week that we needed to have an appeals officer for Foils, so we have to appoint somebody, and who wants to volunteer? It's like he's pointing a gun.
Yeah, no, that's
He's a good shot, but be careful.
I know he's a good shot. That's fine, you guys go ahead and do it.
I'll second the motion.
Yeah.
Motion by Gene, second by Ron to appoint me as the Foils Appeals Officer. Any
There you go.
discussion?
Nope.
This is something that we have to have that we haven't had, and we're just
Right.
told that we gotta do it. Okay? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none.
Well, the only thing I would say on that, instead of your name, town supervisor, whoever the town supervisor is it. It's like, I think the FOIL's officer tends to be the town clerk,
Yes,
so
yep.
whoever that is.
Who seconded that?
Who
Okay.
seconded it? Who seconded the motion? Who made
You
it?
did,
Who
I
seconded
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
So,
I-
Tom- Thompson
made
or
the
Thompson?
motion, and he seconded it, okay.
Number 12, resolution to contract with Jefferson County for property tax revaluation. That is in here. Everybody sees as per our conversation, there's a quote from Jefferson County to do assessment services for the town of Alexandria, $34,176 for 1 year of data collection, $38,448 for year 2 revaluation, $72,624 for the entire project. Take a motion.
I'll make the motion to hire the county to do the reval.
I'll second it.
Motion by Gene, second by Ron. Any discussion?
Just think it'd be a great deal for the town.
They were talking about starting this in March, but she also actually said that she hopes to and plans on starting earlier.
Great,
Sooner is better.
yep.
That's discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none. Okay, where is we had a DOT study done. We had a couple DOT studies done.
Yeah, I remember, I wrote that letter for you
Yep.
quite a while ago, and I don't know, I'm kinda curious, when did you actually send that to them?
I'm not sure. I'll tell you what happened is it got put with,
Cause this is taking a long freaking time.
it got put with a petition from the people in Redwood. It got put with a whole bunch of documents
Yep, I remember that,
about, I bet 2 to 3 months ago.
okay.
And basically, they've done a study, and, they've refused us, turned it down.
Well, this is,
And this is the second time, because we got turned down over there, and the letters are almost identical.
I was gonna say,
And
this is,
6 months ago, we got turned down right here on 12.
but, you know, there's par for the course, but the other thing too, if you read the letter, cause when I drafted that letter, it was Route 37, but it also included 192 and Stein Road. And the DOT has no jurisdiction over either one of those roads, so if you wanna have speed studies done on them, they give you direction on how to take that next step, which I wish you would.
Yeah. So, the speed study is, and I noticed that going on this summer, and I figured out what they were doing, because I saw them putting the rubber deals across the road, which I always thought was counting cars, but they're doing more than counting cars now, because if you look, when they put them now, there's 2 of them.
Yeah,
And then there's a space, and then there's 2 more. So, they can tell by the time elapsed what the average speed of the car is.
well, but more than that, they can also tell what kind of vehicle it is. Yeah.
Wow. My weight.
Well, now that too, is like get the wheelbase of a truck, a car, there's a reason for that space.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a speed vehicle type, you know, if it's a car, truck, semi, you know, that kind of stuff, they can tell all those things.
So they completed that study, and the average speed out there was 53 miles an hour, and whatever else they get from their study, and gave us an answer of that, no, they wouldn't reduce it.
But did they say anything about it, putting up like enhanced, like bigger signs? I think that, I wish you had that letter, I can't.
The one that you drafted?
No, their response.
Yeah, that's right.
They had some, I thought there was some other stuff in there.
They
Cause you ever like in, going into
actually put
some reduced speed zones, they'll have like either a bigger sign or a sign that'll have like, they'll say the speed limit with like an arrow underneath it.
Okay. I can't find it right this second. Any other questions on it?
Again, I would follow up on the County Road and Stein Road, whatever the instructions were in that letter.
Yeah, okay. Next item, 14, in the New York State Comptroller's, regulations, on or before the Thursday following the general election, you have to have the public hearing. This is what we've done in past years. Unless somebody wants to change this, I'm proposing we change the November meeting to November 8th. If we get to the November 8th meeting and we have more to do, we can adjourn the November 8th meeting to a later week in November.
We have until the 20th, I believe, right?
Have until the 20th to adopt the budget.
Right.
We have to hold the public hearing by the Thursday after election.
Yes.
We've usually done it on Wednesday.
Yep.
I'll take a motion to do that. Motion by Mike. Second by Ron. To change the monthly town board meeting from 11:15 to 11:08 at 6 p.m. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, none. Anybody have anything else to add to the public meeting? I think I'm good, otherwise we'll go into executive session to discuss employment history of a particular person or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person. Take a motion by Ron, second by Gene. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? None.
And you wanna add two people to,
We're gonna add, that we add, Tim and Dale to the executive session.
right?
Okay? Very good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I noticed you didn't talk about the arena. Is that 'cause Andrew couldn't come?
No, it's because he didn't have the work done that he's working on to give us a report.
All right, and then
He's waiting for some,
the short-term rental draft, you said, it says reviewed by
Did you wanna
council
turn that
members.
off?
And
Yeah.
return to,
the short term.
yeah, so what happened?
So it's gone to our planning board.
Yeah.
And they have not gotten back to us with their review
All right, so they're
comments.
reviewing it, okay. And then,
Because I had asked Norris about that, and he was hoping that it would be, we'd have it, but we don't.
okay, and then, do you want me to just ask somebody else this so you could turn it off? Okay. That Johnson Lane and Noble Lane, who requested that? Was it Jeremy? Jeremy.
I'm trying to be hot.
Is it the one that leads up to Hopewell Hall?
No, this goes, they've got a cottage over, you know where you go through the rift?
Where you?
Or not through the rift, but going into Lake of the Isles.